Do you ever feel confused about your place in the world and like you have nothing to offer? Waking up and instantly feeling an overwhelming amount of stress and having no motivation to do anything is sadly the way many college students start their day. Depression is a common mental illness that many college students experience worldwide, and there are many factors that cause this depression, but there are also many ways to overcome it. Feeling overwhelmed and stressed out and depressed is how many college students are feeling today. This is becoming more and more common every year. There are so many factors that cause depression that students can learn about and try to fight it. Experiencing depression is not a bad thing, although it can be extremely dangerous. There are also many ways to overcome depression and be a successful student. Depression is a mental illness that affects an abundance of our world's population. It is an overwhelming feeling of sadness that affects your daily life. There are many symptoms that come with depression, and it is important to watch out for these symptoms. In an article called Symptoms of Anxiety and Depression and Suicidal Behavior in College Students, there is a questionnaire that will provide examples of symptoms you are experiencing and give you a report to see if you are experiencing depression. This questionnaire is called the Beck Depression Inventory 2. It consists of 21 self-report questions, and these questions include changes in sleep and appetite, fatigue, and difficulty breathing. There is also a questionnaire for anxiety. Many times, depression and anxiety are linked together. The anxiety questionnaire includes numbness or tingling, heart pounding or racing, hands trembling, and difficulty breathing. These questionnaires are suggested for college students to take because it is quite common for college students to experience anxiety and depression. It is suggested to check off these symptoms if you have experienced them in the past month of taking the questionnaire. On average, about one-third of college students all over the world experience symptoms of depression. College students are not the only ones who suffer from depression, but they are a huge target because they are stressed and have so much on their schedules and so much to do. In the spring of 2017, almost 40% of students in college said they were feeling depressed, and it was hard for them to go on with their life and school in the past 12 months of doing the study. At the same time, 61% of students said they were feeling an overwhelming amount of anxiety. This survey involved over 63,000 students attending 92 different universities all over the world. It is important to look out for these symptoms of depression and anxiety before it affects you severely. There are many different symptoms you can experience, and there are always ways to identify the problem so you can get back to feeling motivated and feeling less overwhelmed. College students around the world are huge targets for depression, so it is important for them to take care of themselves. College students are targeted by depression, and there are many reasons behind this. In an article called An Exploratory Study of Relationship Between Social Technology Use and Depression Among College Students, research shows that social media and technology play a part in depression, and they have found that 85% of adults between the year of 18 and 29 years old have and use a smartphone. These social media apps that are most popular between these ages are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. 88 of these 18 to 29-year-olds who have smartphones use Facebook, 59% use Instagram, and 36% use Twitter. Most of these users that use these platforms use them every day. In the same article, it shows that college students having social media has been linked to help with depression, but it has also been linked to make it worse. Some students find these social sites supporting and helping them feel less alone. Negative effects are that it can cause phone addiction. Students also begin comparing themselves to others, and it takes a toll on their mind. Not all students who use social media and are addicted to their phones experience depression. College students are at high risk of depression and thoughts of suicide because of their new schedules and new way of life. The article also mentions some causes of depression, and some of the causes are their personal struggles they experience, they are experiencing pressure to keep up with their schoolwork, and the stress of adjusting to the new life, the new college life. College students have the tendency to question things in their lives and distance themselves from the world. This leads to no social life, thoughts of suicide, and low grades. There are many causes to depression and side effects, and some side effects can be more harmful than others. In an article by O'Leary, Depression on Campus, It mentions that research of the number of students trying to get help and treatment for depression shows that at a university from 2009 to 2015, the number of students going to centers for counseling had increased by about 30%, and these were students who were thinking about suicide. Colleges are taking new measures to help students who are struggling and who are looking to not return after summer break because they are so overwhelmed. In an article called CBT and Medication and Depression written by Vassell, she talks about medication for depression. Taking medication for depression is a serious topic that students will need to talk to their doctor about. Medication can help you in this situation, but it has to be taken correctly. And if it is not taken correctly, it can become very dangerous. Your depression could get worse, and you could start to experience some thoughts of suicide. The purpose for taking medication is to lower the symptoms of anxiety or depression and provide comfort to students around the world. Although students who experience depression may have thoughts of suicide, not everyone will. One reason why some students who do not have thoughts of suicide is that they have compassion for themselves. They find a reason to overcome these thoughts and do not focus on self-criticism. It is important to have self-compassion to overcome depression because you are more likely to have better mental health and less anxiety. Experiencing depression can be hard, but it is important to find sources to help you overcome it. Experiencing depression is not something to be ashamed of, and it is a struggle many people experience. Depression is a common mental illness that can be caused by many conflicts in your life. The side effects of depression can be dangerous, so it is important to be aware of symptoms and get help. There are many others who experience depression, so no one is alone at this. It is important to get help because everyone deserves a happy and healthy life, and they may be experiencing the same thing you are.